What the hell does this mean? You're probably asking yourself. Too young, dumb, too old, smart. What the heck? I ask a lot of people if they've ever heard that quote. Please comment if you have. So the definition, the way I perceived it, and I didn't really even get it until probably 15 years later. I was working on an HVAC job in Calvert County, and one of the older builders there, he told me this quote, and he was in his late 70s, and he said, too young dumb, too old smart. I'm like, so can you explain that to me, sir? And he was like, well, it's like when you're young, you're too dumb to be smart enough to do the things that you would want to do when you're older. And when you're old, you're smart enough to do the things that you can't do anymore because you're not young enough. So I'm not sure how that portrays to you in your life and where you're at with your walk in your life. But I was also told that wisdom is learning from other people without having to go through a whole lot of trials and tribulations, you know, to get to whatever you call success. So it's like you can save yourself a lot of time if you think about too young dumb, too old smart. Think about the big picture. If I had only thought about the big picture when I was younger, right? You know, being good at almost everything that you've done and all these kind of, you know, just like you were an overachiever and you were above average at almost everything you tried, but you didn't put any thought into the big picture, right? So you'll hear sayings like, you know, a man that plants a tree knows that he will never get to enjoy the shade of that tree. Man, let that one sink in too. So the earlier we can catch some of these wise thoughts that people have given to us because we were too young dumb not to recognize what they were trying to say to us at that point in time in our life. Then we become too old smart, right? Wishing you could still be as young as you were to maybe go try to achieve some of these things that you would have liked to do when you were young, right? So, you know, I believe that we can do anything we set our mind to, but there's limitations to some of it, right? You know, I mean, it's not very likely that you could go be a middle linebacker anymore or a quarterback for an NFL football team. You know what I'm saying? You know, if you're a certain weight, age, whatever. And praying is a big thing too, right? And faith is a main thing in your walk and your journey wherever you're headed in life, and being able to let go of certain things. And praying is a big deal. But there's just some things that ain't going to happen in this life. It's not physically possible. You can go jump off that cliff over there and pray your ass off, and I'm pretty much going to bet that you're going to hit the ground. All right? There ain't going to be no magic carpet coming out. There ain't going to be no flying angels coming to scoop you up. Even though you may hit a tree or two, fall down, hit a rock, slide on into the river with just a couple bumps, scrapes, bruises, you name it. So, too young dumb, too old smart. We're trying to let that sink in as early as possible. With all that being said, thank God that you got another chance today. Thank God that you're watching this video. Thank God that you have an opportunity to be something. These phones we're looking at right now, I'm told that they got more power in them than the first computer in the White House had. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, am I being too young, dumb by not trying something? Am I being too old, smart by doing something with what I can do, right? So it's always better to have a little bit of ignorance on fire, if you will, than to be intelligent and on ice. Y'all keep on keeping on out there. Stay up.